Microsoft is set to revolutionize IT troubleshooting with its upcoming Quick Machine Recovery feature, allowing admins to remotely fix unbootable Windows 11 devices without physical access. A federal probe has unveiled critical security vulnerabilities impacting over 300 United States water systems, leaving millions at risk for disruptions or attacks. Attackers are leveraging a new technique called Cross-IdP impersonation to outwit single sign-on protections, gaining illicit access to major software-as-a-service platforms without even breaching primary identity providers. And finally, blue teamers have dealt a significant blow to cybercrime by disrupting the Ngioweb botnet, which fueled 80% of a notorious proxy service, impacting cybercrime operations worldwide. You're listening to the Daily Decrypt. Microsoft must be feeling a little embarrassed about how hard it was to fix the CrowdStrike outage that took down a ton of Windows computers, right? So now, which I'm assuming is a response to the CrowdStrike outage, they are unveiling a new feature called Quick Machine Recovery. This feature will allow IT administrators to apply targeted fixes through Windows Update to systems that become unbootable, circumventing the need for direct physical intervention. This advancement will facilitate rapid problem resolution, offering a significant improvement over previous methods, especially in critical situations affecting sectors like airlines and emergency services. Microsoft has also laid out a strategy that shifts away from the security practices reliant on kernel-level access, much like CrowdStrike has, and is collaborating with security vendors through the Microsoft Virus Initiative to enable security software operations outside of the Windows kernel. This should hopefully mitigate risks associated with kernel vulnerabilities and improve overall system stability. And with the two of these things combined, Microsoft is really hoping to avoid a similar outage to the one we had back in July caused by CrowdStrike. And we're hitting all the good news up front in today's episode because a giant botnet named Ngioweb has been disrupted. This botnet, which underpins the majority of the NSOC's proxy services infrastructure, highlights a critical intervention to block malicious traffics across two notorious networks. This botnet's roots trace back to 2017, but were identified more distinctly over the past year, and was primarily responsible for supplying about 80% of the proxies at NSOCs, with around 35,000 proxies distributed globally. Researchers, particularly from Lumen's Black Lotus Labs, have meticulously unveiled the botnet's operational structure, providing crucial insights into how criminals have been exploiting residential proxies through command and control nodes. These nodes facilitate anonymous traffic routing, making it difficult to trace malicious activity back to its source, which is a method increasingly utilized for harmful intents, such as distributed denial of service attacks, malware dissemination, and illicit data access activities. So this operation not only blocks or impedes the NSOC's operations, but it will also send its ripple effects through the security landscape by bringing to light the vulnerabilities in poorly secured web application libraries and devices, including those from Netgear, Zyxel, and others. So not only will this help prevent future DDoS attacks by botnets under this purview, but it will also help future security researchers identify ways to take down similar botnets. So this is great. But what's not so great is that a federal investigation has turned up security vulnerabilities in over 300 US water systems, which impacts millions of people. The EPA's Office of the Inspector General reported that 97 systems, which are crucial for delivering water to over 26 million people, face high-risk security threats. These vulnerabilities, if exploited by attackers, could lead to severe service disruption and physical damage. They've also noted that an additional 211 systems with medium to low risk gaps serve nearly 83 million citizens, showing a broad range of potential security breaches within the water industry. And we all need water to live, right? And our enemies know that. And recent attacks, such as the intrusion faced by American Water Works, really emphasizes the critical need for this type of coordination between the EPA and cybersecurity organizations like CISA and the FBI so that it can bolster its defenses against our nation's enemies. Because we're thinking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? If our enemies can take away our water, we're not going to be focused on fighting them. We're going to be focused on finding water. So we really got to make sure this is secure moving forward. And finally, we're talking about a new-ish attack called Cross-IdP impersonation that's emerging as a technique that cunningly bypasses standard SSO protections, allowing attackers unauthorized access to software as a service applications. This method cleverly exploits shortcomings in single sign-on configurations, enabling cyber adversaries to create fraudulent identity provider accounts that mimic an organization's domain. Once set up, these accounts can infiltrate downstream applications without compromising the primary identity provider account itself. There's one notable incident recently where a teenage researcher manipulated a flaw in Zendesk's processes to generate fake Apple SSO accounts, subsequently gaining unauthorized entry into corporate domains and connected platforms like Slack, thereby uncovering, it's snowballing, thereby uncovering sensitive business data. A similar vulnerability in Google domain verification permitted former attackers to leverage newly created Google Workspace accounts for SSO access, bypassing the typical domain verification process and entering applications traditionally accessed through a different single sign-on provider. Dan Green of Push Security highlights the simplicity and repetition potential of this method, saying attackers can easily initiate a new IDP and attach it to an organization's domain, exploiting the fact that many applications overlook the need for re-authentication upon the introduction of a new login method. And further investigations by Push Security reveal a staggering lapse in protective measures, with 3 out of 5 tested applications failing to mandate re-verification when adding new single sign-on methods. To combat this threat, Push Security recommends organizations enhance their defense strategies by setting up email alerts to detect unauthorized IDP activations, restricting personal to corporate account conversions, and enforcing rigorous re-verification protocols on downstream applications. We love that you're using single sign-on, but if someone's messing with the settings and changing the ways that you can authenticate, make sure you force your users and applications to re-authenticate.
This has been the Daily Decrypt. If you found your key to unlocking the digital domain, show your support with a rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It truly helps us stand at the frontier of cyber news. Don't forget to connect on Instagram or catch our episodes on YouTube. Until next time, keep your data safe and your curiosity alive.